Hi everybody, this is Miracle Exit Tarot channel, and I just want to put up a very short, well, I will see, because sometimes I say it's short and after it's 1 hour. Normally I should make it shorter because people has a busy life, so they don't have time to listen long downloads and readings. Really what I wanted to talk about today, when your enemy breaks you and how you still can find balance and balance everything out in your life. But before I get into this, I just want to tell a very strange dream, and I don't know why I need to tell. I can't say it's a download because I don't know if it's really will happen. And I don't want to mislead people, so maybe it's just a strange dream. But those who in a spiritual community who believes in extraterrestrials and aliens, they might think about this, okay? I had a kind of strange dreams. I mean, it was really, maybe I was astral traveling, I don't know, or just like I've been through a bit of a difficult time because my enemies blocked my intuition, partially. They couldn't block it 100%, but they did something to block my astral traveling, so I could not astral travel for a very long time. And for very sometimes I did not have dreams, okay, and that is really strange for me because in my dream I get lots of downloads, and the reason is probably my actually source show me that some of my enemies practically stolen my dream, my downloads from my dream state, so now I do protection on that also. But I can't decide, this is just a messy dream, just the brain working up informations, or it was really an astral traveling. And I'm telling you honestly because I don't want to mislead people, but this is something they need to think about, okay? What I saw is that Jesus Christ came, appeared, and divine people started to raise in the sky and disappear, okay? And what was strange, it was it was not like as the Bible write it. I mean, what I could see actually, this Jesus Christ was actually Enki, and Enki actually teleported these people, okay, and all of them were divine starseeds and divine souls. And the horrible things what I saw on a spaceship, they had they have like it's like a medi bed, that's how they call it, but they don't use quantum physics technology to heal people, but they use human souls. Somehow they extract the human souls and the essence of human soul, and that is added to these kind of medibeds or a capsule, I don't know how to call them. And these Anunnaki people regularly lay down in it, regenerate themselves and make themselves young. And what's happening, they use a divine source energy to do that. And what's happened, that all those human beings that has been taken, teleported, they were all divines, and actually they were all killed, and their soul has been used in these capsules. to rejuvenate and make Anunnaki people live longer. After you take it as you want. But it's really shocked me. You need to understand, for more than 20 years I was Christian. And I was really strictly practiced Christianity. I mean, I read the Bible I don't know how many times, and studied the original language, and I was looking for, clues, and I had a connection with not Enki, that's for sure, but source from very early age when I became Christian. And lots of things I did not understand in the Bible, and I had the impression that many things is missing from it. So after, you can argue that it's partially, people put in what they wanted or not. I heard an interesting theory from an indigo child yesterday. This indigo, you need to know about indigo child. They have Christ's love in their heart, and they are star seeds. They are a type of, most of them are a type of Pleiadian origin. And love of Christ is a kind of energy in the universe. We call it love of Christ, but it's a really strong, it's a kind of divine love, okay? And indigo children represent that really well, okay? And they said something that actually Enki created Christian religion, and that actually shocked me. Honestly, I'm still digesting that actually Yeshua, or Jesus we call, is actually Enki, and there exists another Yeshua who is divine, okay, who is really divine, but that Yeshua did not die on the cross. So I was really confused, and it shocked me. I'm telling you, if I would be still Christian, probably I would be really enraged. But since I'm awakened, I'm open for thinking about, because you need, even if you don't accept it, you need to think about, because this is a download she got. And she's extremely divine. She's an extraordinary person. And I just was really surprised of this revelation of hers. And I was thinking a lot. And actually, it was in coherence with this dream, what I got, that she actually explained that this Christian religion, what we built up, not all of it, because apparently from the death, as she explained that when Jesus died and went down, crucified and died, went down in hell and came back, she explained it was Enki. It was not really Yeshua, this divine person, actually we should worship. And actually, she said this Yeshua never wanted anybody to worship them, but they wanted to teach them to know source and God, source energy. And apparently she said worshipping is something wrong. And but it doesn't matter what she said. But what was amazing for me, that my dream really went well with her vision about Christianity, where it went wrong, and why. She explained also why was it altered, and I know that it was altered because not all the book was taken in the Bible, okay? And Constantine Caesar, I think it was in the age of Constantine, when they put together the books of the Bible, and actually they put only the books in the Bible that supported the politic at that time, okay? And lots of books they left out, and actually the translation on, especially when they did on Latin, they will also think lost. So already, if you read the Bible in original language, that is very complicated, because it's ancient Aramaic and ancient Hebrew and Greek, okay? But if you have time or you are interested in things like that, it's really interesting to invest in. I don't speak any of these languages. Actually, I was searching and translated each words, and I spend lots of hours and days and weeks and months researching this, because I wanted to know the real meaning, what was really written in the Bible, okay? And in the Revelation books, there is this one, Jesus Christ come back, and the Christian people will be taken. And actually, when you study Hindu religion, or also in Aztec religion, there were prophecies that actually describe something similar. That is very interesting. So when you are open to knowledge, sorry guys, I'm in my car. Anyway, if I show my face, you won't see too much. What I'm saying this last time, this prophecy will be filled up, which is amazing for me, that almost in every religion you can find this, okay? What is bothering me, that I hope my dream is not true. I hope this is not the plan. Because if it is the plan, it's genocide. And I'm telling you, I'm not sure about this, so I don't want to mislead people. I just want people to think about this. And one thing I'm sure of, that Source created this universe. Source created humans, and Source created Earth. And Anunnakis came on this Earth and genetically modified the humans. Anunnakis are not gods. Enki and are not gods. They are demigods. And in my opinion, they don't like humans, okay? And they have nothing to do with Source. Actually, they were created by Source also. And they lots of download also. I got that new thing. Maybe one day I will teach about this, but right now it's tough spiritual food, I think. But why I put this up, that I think people has to consider this option, honestly. Because the 5D shifting is totally different. There you won't be teleported. No. You practically become, your body will transform, and your body, during the transformation, practically you will disappear and shift with the earth, okay? But that is not teleportation. So that is totally different thing, the 5D earth. I feel, I have a bad feeling actually, that many of the divine soul will be deceived and taken by Enki, and they will end up in their death. And their soul will be used, rejuvenate Anunnaki women, so they could be more beautiful, and younger. Source created human because what the Bible said, that we were created to look like Source, okay? I believe naturally we had a connection with Source, and we had an intuition extremely strong that was destroyed by the Anunnaki. They did lots of modification in our gene, and I don't believe that was actually that the human, they say they did that so the human could be much more intelligent, much more advanced. I don't believe this, okay? I believe lots of modification they did in a human gene to hide the truth, and also to make us disconnected from source, so our intuition won't be that strong, you know. This is what I believe. After, there is lots of argument about this in a spiritual community, and everybody thinks differently, and if you are not spiritual, you don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay. What we need to understand, that doesn't matter which religious text or prophecy from the end of time you read, you will read that the evilness will be very strong at the end of the time. I mean, it will be extremely strong. Okay. You can read the Bible, you can read the Quran, you can read any Hindu text or whatever you read. It's really, you can find at the end of the time evilness will be very strong, very strong. Excuse me, I have a hiccup. I need to drink a bit of coffee. And when evilness is strong, we are not talking about that you have a husband who's abusive. That is actually augmenting. I mean, they growing in number. Of course, the abuse, narcissism, narcissistic abuse in families, in work, sexual abuse also, all evilness, of course. But I'm talking about a kind of spiritual torture of divine beings. I mean, you need to understand that divine masculine energy is totally opposite of Enki, okay, and Anunnaki, and the Draconians, and these spiritual sister who teach this indigo child. I heard these teachings. Actually, she talked about this, and she's right. She mentioned this also in her teaching, that the divine masculine energy is hated in a hierarchy of Enki. I mean, the other thing what really shocked me, that Yahweh is actually Enki. And Enki is an Anunnaki entity who actually hates human, okay? That I know because I read about it. But me, when I was thinking about Yahweh, I was thinking about source. And I did not know that actually when you use Yahweh, actually you calling upon Enki, okay? And that puts in place many practice that I do as a spiritual worker that I will have to change spiritually. The problem is that this Enki wants humans to be contract with him. And the spiritual teacher was talking about this, that when you are human and you make contract with Enki or the entities who work for them, like Draconians or reptilians or Archons, or there are other entities, those contracts you can break. You decide you belongs to and you will worship Enki. You can't back up from that contract, because if you do, they will kill you and take your soul. First of all, it's extremely cruel. I mean, it can't be God. It can't be divine God. It can't be Jesus Christ, you know, because it has nothing to do with divine love. And the main energy, these entities, I mean, Draconians, Anunnakis, and reptilian has is deception, is narcissism. They have human forms, and These are the humans. I'm not saying every narcissistic person is draconian or reptilian, don't misunderstand, but it's their nature. And they teaching human to be, they transforming human to be narcissistic. And that's mean they have no emotions. So when in spiritual um, spheres, people teaching about hermetic teaching that don't misunderstand, I'm sure they are useful. And I use it also when I have to balance out my I used it actually. Now I'm doing a kind of grounding that permits me to balance out my emotions. But emotions are human, and if they were really wrong, souls didn't have created. You understand? So emotions are highly human thing. And I pose the questions that these narcissistic, dark, low vibrational entities are against emotions. Then I'm asking a question: our emotions are so bad? Um, I was told that Pleiadians wants humans to control their emotions much better. And apparently, I heard that the Galactic Federation, a very long time, they didn't want it human to be involved in decision-making process, and they could not stand humans because when they had a strong emotion like laughing or crying, apparently some entities even can die because it's energetically so strong that it's practically destroy some entities. Okay, so that's why they want human to control their emotions. But I believe emotions are good. I believe that's what makes us human. And when you have a spiritual teaching or you have a religion who wants you to deny your emotion, I mean, wipe it under the carpet, there's something wrong with that. I mean, you need to really balance yourself out because you can't be a drama queen, you know? And that is really craziness that once you laugh and after you cry. Well, a woman knows this when we have a period, of course. But sometimes when you heal, you need to cry. It's the way of releasing negative energy sometimes, you know. Sometimes you need to laugh because when you laugh, you break curses, you release toxic cores that other people attach to you, and it's liberating you, you know. And maybe other entities can't stand it energetically because it's too much for them. But for us humans, these emotions were given actually to release a pressure from our soul, from our psyche, and from our mental and sometimes our body. So I don't believe, and I used to teach about this, I don't believe emotions, human emotions are wrong. And I don't misunderstand me. And you should not be a drama queen. I'm not talking about when somebody manipulating with crying. No, I'm talking about. Oh, sorry guys, I went offline. I don't know how much I left out. I'm talking about. I'm not saying that you should be a drama queen. Don't misunderstand. But emotions are important when you heal your trauma. You have to cry that out sometimes. And sometimes when you cried it out after the next day or the day after, a few hours later, watching a comedy that makes you laugh will heal you. Continue the healing process, for example, will make you happy. How many knows, we know all of us, when you laugh, a really good laugh, you're having a really good laugh, and after you feel so good, you know, it's like lifting your soul and lifting your vibration. So really it's important that don't hang yourself up if you have emotional outbreaks. I mean, sometimes you can't hold it back, you cry. Sometimes you can't hold it back, you just laugh. Actually, when you go through difficult times, that's the best way to deal with it. And what was amazing, I was listening to this Indigo Child spiritual teacher. Well, it's not really my style because I'm a different star seed than she is. But I learn a lot, actually. We need to understand we star seeds are all different. And we have different work to do on Earth. And we have different visions about spirituality. And what is interesting, when you can learn, we can learn from each other, you know, and respect the differences and the authenticity, and that we are different, and it's wonderful. And actually, us starseeds should hold together even in spite of our differences, because you know, our enemies wants to separate us, and they want us to live in hermit mode, I mean isolation, because they don't want us to be strong, you know. Anyway, I did not want to talk about this, but she was talking about actually she went through that in June, what I've been through in August, okay. And I was shocked because I thought it's something unique I've been through, and I still don't understand everything what's happened to me in August. But she went through exactly the same with her husband together in June. And that's really shocked me, because I thought I'm alone with this. And that's when you need to go and get to listen other starseeds, spiritual teachers, because when they tell their testimony like that, you realize that your torture is not, or you are the only one who were tortured, you know. And I will be honest with you, in August, I've been through a really difficult period of time. I mean, I almost died. It was really, really tough. And it was spiritual torture. I mean, spiritual torture at a high level. And it was not human who did that, that's for sure. I'm convinced. Or if they were human, there must have been the army or something like that, you know. Or I don't know. But it was really bad. And they practically broke my soul, broke my emotions, my mental, everything. They practically broke everything inside me. It was really high level torture. And I thought, that's it, I won't survive this. It's just enough. I mean, I was fighting until the last minute, and somehow I survived. But I was really tough. I was really, really tough. And on top of that, these idiot governance and witches and local community added to the situation. And with this box in my house that I was talking about, I convinced this community who placed this box and actually stole it from the army or gendarme, I don't know. But it's not my problem. I just don't care about it anymore, because there's no point. It will be dealt with, and I just don't stress myself about that, okay? But what I wanted to talk today is sometimes when you start shining in a spiritual realm, they will be noticed on a 3D level also, okay? And you need to understand the matrix is really deformed. And actually M.E.T deformed it. And it's actually built on deception, and souls did not design the matrix like that originally. It's supposed to help us to learn. And actually when Enki came on Earth, fucked up everything. Everything was fucked up. And now it's like a torture chamber, you know. And what I wanted to say, that when you become awakened and you get out of the matrix, first of all, you will be, you will be shocked, okay? Because lots of belief system that you believed, your religion, everything, you will question, because you will see the reality, okay? And it will shock you, because it will be sometimes as opposite what you learn all of your life, or in school, or when you were little. And after, you will have to face with the dark night of the soul. That is not easy neither. But what you need to understand, this is a birth. Because at the end, I do not regret being totally awakened, because I was partially already awakened, okay? But this is, it's a birthing, and birthing is ugly. The birthing is messy, bloody, and painful, okay? And I think the dark night of the soul is just a beginning. Because after, when you go through the dark night of the soul, you realize your spiritual gifts, you realize who you are. Many of us star seeds, or light worker, or whatever purpose you have on earth, and you start walking in your purpose. And after, there are these dark entities who will fuck you up, using humans who does not understand anything, actually. And now I'm convinced that really, when you're a high-level spiritual person, you will go through this kind of torture. But they can't take your life, because they did not take my life. I almost lost it. I mean, what's happening during the torture, when you give up and actually you lose your own life? Yes, but when you don't, you will fight it through. You will get through it, okay? I think that's the most important things when you are spiritual and you are on that level, and you get this torture period, a few weeks, few months. It's different for everybody. You never give up. You will fight. You will fight to stay alive. And when I listened to this indigo child, it was the same, actually, that she's been through with her husband. Actually, her husband and her are twin flame. And they've been through the same torture that I've been through in August. I mean, these entities in this Enki triangle, okay? After, I had different purpose on earth than she has, and her husband, we have totally different setup, but we all star seeds, actually, in that community. And when you have to go through this, you will come out stronger if you survive, if you don't die. But you will go through a transformation that is very deep, because everything will be destroyed inside you. Everything, absolutely everything. And I'm convinced some people, I mean, a human who is not starseed, they would go crazy. That's for sure. And a starseed has a stamina, so we survive lots of things. But oh gosh, they broke practically every part of me. I mean, spiritually, mentally, in my soul, in my emotions, psyche, everything. But you can just imagine every human part of me. And the only thing they could not take away, my love for Source, and my trust for Source, my love for Michael, Archangel. I have a very special connection with him, and I love him. I will be honest with you, I love him. And I know many lifetimes we were fighting together. And the other angels also, Metatron is my favorite. And I have other angels who I very well know, and work together, and my spirit team, it's just like they try to make me doubt them. They try to make me believe that Source hates me and abandoned me because they blocked me from Source and my spirit guides. And they try to make me believe, but this is typical mental manipulation of Anki. Okay? After these army books, this community tried to fuck up my mind also. I'm not saying not. But many times it was not them. Okay? It had nothing to do with the books. It was these entities. And it was really tough. I just could not, because the essence of my soul is Source. I just can't. I just can't abandon Source. I don't care. Even if he would abandon that, I know he does not. But you need to understand, Source created us to be like him. Okay? And people say that Source left us alone and does not care about us. And it's not true. It's not true. But Source give us everything what we need to deal on this earth with everything and to create whatever we want. And actually, Enki is trying to show Source that we are fucked up and we are wrong, an error. So Source made an error when created humanoids or humans. And actually, he wants to show us that humans are idiots. And this is not true. Because this is tough what we go through, when you come back in a soul recycling system, you don't remember anything and you have to start again and again from zero. And it's tough. It's not an easy thing to do, and because you are human, but the process of awakening is tough, and not all of us will arrive in every lifetime. And the deception in the same time high because of Enki. And the most important thing is, especially when you're starseed, that you listen to that little voice inside you. I mean, not mental voice. It's like somewhere in the solar plexus chakra, somewhere in between solar plexus chakra and heart chakra, and it's just circulating somewhere there. And I think that is your intuition. That is your inner voice. That is your higher self, and you have to listen to that. You have to listen to that. When they try to break you, when they torture you, when your whole world is shaking, you have to listen to this intuition to be able to stay on the right path. So whatever happens with you, whatever you go through, and I honestly went through this torture, I did not understand, and it was unbearable sometimes. I had to face with entities. It was really tough, and it was not easy. And top of that, humans and this idiot community where I live was involved also in many ways. But it did transform me. Well, I believe it's better what I am right now. I'm not humiliated. They wanted to humiliate me, but they did not manage to humiliate me. Or they think they humiliated me, but they did not. I got stronger, and I learned lots of techniques with these entities that I have to use if I face with them, because I learn about them. So it was a good thing at the end. And also lots of previous life, what I been through, got awakened, actually. I started to remember lots of things that I've been in other lifetimes. and it adds to my knowledge, of course, and that is extraordinary. But it was really painful. It was really painful being tortured and practically dismantled into particles in every essence of you, and it was horrible. I don't wish to that anybody. And I was convinced I'm the only one on the entire earth who's going through that. So when I found this indigo child, Starseed, and she was talking about the same thing with her husband, that they've been through the same thing that I've been through in August, but they've been through in June. I was shocked because she described exactly the same thing that I've been through, that same torture. And I was really shocked because how is that coincidence? And on top of that, this is a German woman. So not living in the same country where I live, it was really an interesting experience to see that I'm not alone going through this. And after, I will be honest with you, I was a bit, not depressed, but I was like, shit, we come here on Earth, Stasis, to help Earth, help humans, and humans practically crucify us, They hate on us, they destroy us when we don't give them anything else but love, And she described the same feeling that she went through. So I felt like every humans are evil. What's the point coming here to help them? I was an idiot to sign up a contract to come on this earth and do this shit. And I'm sure when you are Stasi, you will go through this, huh? That's for sure. You will go through this. And it's really tough. But at the end, you know why we experience being humans. And sometimes we come back many times in these human lives to learn about being human. And at the end, you realize that when you see the evilness of humans and how they reject you, how they hate on you, and only things you want is you want to heal them, you want to help them, you want to get them this fucking evolution that they have to go through so their soul can finally get out of this soul recycling system that actually was fucked up by Enki, not Source. And this is really tough. Really, really tough. And me, one point, actually many points I thought, there is no hope, humans are evil. That's it. But after I have to go back always that, no, I love humans. I love humans because I am human and I became human. In spite of that I'm a Starseed, I am human. And I have love for them. And I want to protect them. We were all sent to protect them and love them and help them for the change meant that they have to go through, especially this Aquarius time. The Earth is in Aquarius, Us star seeds are called in this time to help them. And it's hard to find our own way at first, so we could help really humans. And we became human, so we could understand really what are they going through. And it's not an easy path. I don't know why did I sign up on actually. Well, I know, because I had to do it. And yeah, I was called to do it. But I'm telling you that lots of people telling that, oh, I'm a Starseed, I'm an Earth Angel, I'm this and that and that. You go through this torture. That will show you if you're really an Earth Angel or a Starseed. Because a human won't survive it, that's for sure. I mean, 100% human. If you are not Starseed, you won't survive these tortures. It's impossible. So when our Starseeds are really, we have a very strong spiritual stamina, all of us. And if Well, my batteries will go down, so I will finish soon. If I cut, then I finish this teaching. Or not teaching, it's like just sharing my experience with you. But I'm not putting down humans, I mean, who are not star seeds. Do not misunderstand, because I am human also. But many humans has no idea how difficult it is to be a star seed. Because all they can see the gifts, all they can see the privileges. But when life is, oh my God, when people knows that you are star seed, they will know, because you will become visible. You have no idea what you have to go through, honestly. And that spiritual torture is unbelievable. And I thought the dark night of the soul was tough. What I've been through in August, I was tougher than a dark night of the soul. I mean, really. So the spiritual warfare that we have to carry many times. Sometimes an entire fucking covenant of secret societies are in the back, trying to hunt us down, and things like that. Well, if you really want to be a starseed and Earth Angel, go through that. Go through that. Each of us who's been through, they know what is it. It's not an easy thing to do. Anyway, you have to listen to your intuition. And for me, that I experienced. I know I love souls, and souls love me, and this love who kept me alive. This love who kept me going on, even in the middle of the torture. That's what really kept my soul in my body, because they even wanted to take my soul, and I were very close to it. I had to practically fight for my soul, and I almost died. They practically wanted to suck out my soul and put it in some artificial and shit. And after I had to fight for my soul, but it was really tough. But I went through, thanks God. The only way I could went through is my spiritual guides and my angels who were around me, and they were supporting me, and love of source. I mean, I did not forget who I am and how much I love source and how much source loves me. And this is what you have to stick to. When calling and you really a star seed, especially if you are an earth angel, you will go through this torture. You will go, they will find you and they will put you through, and they will try to take your soul away. They will try to torture you and break you down to pieces and particles. And they will block you from source. They will block you from your higher self. They will block you so you won't be able to astral travel. Yeah, they will block you from your spirit guides. You won't be able to communicate with them. And they will practically torture you. I mean, your life force, they will manipulate the energy centers. It will be really, I mean, guys, I just can't describe it. It was really horrible. It was very, very horrible. And these people convinced that they can get into your place, because it was quite a messed up shit, because there were like entities torturing me also. But in the same time, this idiot Wilbonese community where I live, with the idiot machine or device or whatever the shit is it. And it was not easy, because all the attack came in the same time in August. And I'm sure they did not know about each other, huh? I mean, maybe these entities know about the community, but the community I could deal with quite well. It was not a problem, but the entities was really tough, because entities can be really, well, they are on different level than humans, okay? And I'm still alive, and I saw this indigo child, a spiritual teacher with her husband. They are alive also. They've been through exactly the same thing than me. I did not know that. I thought it's quite specific. And the transformation is really matured me spiritually. And I can see lots of things differently. And I obtain a kind of wisdom that I didn't have before, okay? So at the end, it was not for my disadvantage, but it was not easy. So I hope I don't have to go through this again. But I'm not afraid of it. I mean, I'm not, because I know the source will be with me. And if I have to die, I will die. If the source wants me to die, I will die. But I won't if he does not want me to die. Do you understand? But it was not easy. And I don't wish this to my worst enemy to go through, because it was not easy. And I rebuilding now, because they shook lots of foundation that I had destroyed. But the main foundation, they could not. My love for source, and that source loves me, you know. They could not destroy that. In spite of that, they blocked source from me for a very long time. And that's what you have to build in, okay? Because in this hard time, you need to fight. You need to be tough. But really, what keeps your soul alive is your divine love for source. This is something essential. That's the only way you can survive a torture like that. And it is extraordinary after. When you have again downloads, you have again connection with source, and it's established. It's extraordinary. It's really extraordinary. After you will mature a bit, because you will understand different races, entities much better. That I had lots of misconception about them that clarified a lot, and probably it will get clarified in the future. I will learn more. But you need to understand, when you awaken and you become spiritual. I mean, everybody loves the divine feminine energy, because this is creative energy. This is a caring, loving energy, okay? Every entity actually loves divine feminine energy. And everybody hates divine masculine energy. Because what is divine masculine energy? Divine masculine energy is protecting. It's a fighting, surviving warrior spirit. And sometimes it has a difficulty find its place in a spiritual community, because there is a misconception that you have to love everybody, and it's not true. Try to love a draconians, try to love an Anunnaki, or try to love a reptilian. They are all narcissistic, you know. Unfortunately, that type of race that you can find on Earth or around Earth, they are very highly narcissistic, and they are not the best part of their race, okay? Because during my soul evolution, my soul is very old, and I was living in other universes also, not just this one. And I met reptilians who were practically divine. They did not have this aggressive, low vibrational nature, but they were teaching. They had huge wisdom, and they were totally different to these reptilians that we can find on Earth. And also, I met other race and reptilians who were warriors. But not these. They had lots of dignity. They had and certainly they were not harvesting chi from humans, okay? They were totally different reptilians than this one on Earth, and also draconians I had in other lifetimes when I was living in other universes deal with. And you need to understand there are many races, even in one race. So there's many sub races. So I don't know how to describe it. And me, I was really shocked when I had to realize, because when I got awakened, I remembered my previous lives, and in my previous lives, I had experience with these two type of reptilians. And when I had to deal with reptilians on Earth, I was shocked. I was shocked because they totally different. And the best way to describe them is not